On the island of Lovön, in Lake Mälaren near Stockholm, Sweden, stands a magnificent palace with splendid gardens and surrounding parklands. Drottningholm Palace. A most historical gem, often dubbed as the Versailles of Sweden. The name Drottningholm actually means Queen's Island, as it was the site where King Johan III built an initial mansion for his Queen Consort, Katarina Jagellonika in 1580. They named the mansion Torvesund. Torvesund Mansion would burn down in 1661, under the ownership of Queen Hedvig Eleanora. The following year in 1662, she commissioned architect Nicodemus Tessin the Elder to redesign and expand the palace, incorporating French Baroque elements into the architecture. And so the construction of the Drottningholm Palace as we know it today, began. It took approximately 20 years to complete the project. In fact, Nicodemus Tessin the Elder would never get to see its completion. He had died in 1681, with the palace almost complete. His son Nicodemus Tessin the Younger took over the project after his death, and added gardens, as well as the elaborate interior designs. Completed and fully furnished by the end of the 17th century, Drottningholm Palace was used mainly as a royal summer residence. With the various monarchs who have come and gone over centuries, they've each left their personal mark on the palace. For instance, in 1744, when it was given as a wedding gift to Princess Louisa Ulrika, she redecorated several rooms in the French Rococo style. As queen, she commissioned the Palace Theatre in 1766. Still in use today, it is known as the best preserved 18th century theatre, and the only one in the world that still uses its original stage machinery. The beautiful Chinese pavilion was also introduced during Queen Louisa Ulrika's reign. Its rooms are full of luxury items that were brought to Sweden from China, by the Swedish East India Company. The Swedes at the time, as well as all of Europe, were fascinated with China. Seen as a mythical faraway land, every nobleman had to have a Chinese room. However, we must say that this here is way beyond what one might call a simple room. In 1780, when the palace was home to King Gustav III, he added the great romantic English park. This naturalistic landscape park, offering panoramic views of the Swedish countryside, was trending at the time. And its calming beauty still surrounds the palace today. In the early 19th century, Drottningholm Palace began opening its gates to the public. By mid-century, in need of many renovations, the palace underwent several stages of upgrades and restoration, in order to bring it up to date. In 1991, Drottningholm Palace was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, due to its well-preserved 17th century architecture and gardens. Today, it still remains a residence of the Swedish royal family, including King Carl XVI Gustav and Queen Sylvia. However, parts of the palace, its gardens, and the Palace Theatre are open to the public, allowing visitors to experience its historical and cultural significance.